So what we're doing here is we're trying to figure out exactly from the length of our post how much we want here. So we're making a triangle. So we figured out how tall this is going to be eventually. It is going to be gapped, so it'll be a little taller than this. And then making a perfect triangle. So we measured, this was 28 inches, 28 inches, 28 inches. So now we have our boards ready to cut at 45-degree angles. So here we are. We're using a miter saw, chop saw, but you can use just a regular miter box to do the same thing where we're cutting the angle for the trees. Really quick with one of these, but of course, again, you can use a regular saw and a miter box. And we have a puppy. Very slick. Now we're going to switch the saw over to the other side to get the other angle. We have all these cut.
So we are on, well, we'll just line it up with
We're
the
going
wood.
to move it the other way and then cut the other side.
Let's grab one of these.
So here he goes. This is my husband, Chris, by the way. He'd let us do this, but we're making him feel manly, so we're letting him do it. Because he likes to do this stuff
That
to
look
help.
right?
Looks right. Slick as can be. We have lined up our pieces just to make sure they're right, and this is what it's going to look like before we stain it. So here we've got our first tree, and we did it in about, what, less than 30 minutes. So tree number 1, we're going to be doing 3 of these, and we'll do more video in case you need to see more of the process. So here we are starting our second tree, and we already have the cut from our first tree lined up for our second one on one side. So all we've got to do is do our other angle, cut the other side, and we've got tree number 2 using the boards that we've already used. We only used one extra board because our one over here is kind of messed up in the middle. We didn't want to use that. So here we are with tree number 2. The angle's already there. We just have to finish it up. Here we are staining our trees. We have 2 of them cut out. Probably within 40 minutes, we had both of these cut out and ready to go, thanks to our handy little chop saw and being able to use the one angle from the first tree to make the first angle from the second tree. So we're going to stain these up, let them dry, and then we're going to make a couple more trees. This is Ponderosa pine, semi-transparent exterior stain. So you could have these trees outside and they would be protected from the weather. So we're just finishing up the staining of 3/4, what are these? 6 sides, 5 sides of the 6 that we're going to do. When they dry, we'll turn them over. And while these are drying, we're going to create a couple more of these trees. This is taking like no time. We were very excited about the process. So that's what we're going to do next. When we first started this project, we figured, okay, we probably have enough wood maybe for 3 trees. That's what we were pushing for. But then we discovered with all the scrap and being able to go back and play with the angles, we're actually going to be able to do 5 trees out of these pallets. So we're pretty excited about that. So we're finishing up the cuts for these, and they'll be ready to finish the staining of these next 3 trees. Now my sweet husband, say hi, Chris. He's making the stands for our trees, and we have them all stained over here, both sides of those and one side of those, getting ready to put them together. And this was actually, we've been at this less than 2 hours. We've got 5 trees cut out and stained, and the stands going together to go with these 2x4s. And there we have it. We have the stand made. He did 4 2x4, 16 inches, and just connected them. And this actually pops out. So we're just looking to see this piece will pop out. So it'll keep the tree stable. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put it back in. So when you store it, you don't have that big old stand sticking out. It'll be perfect. Thank you. Thank you. We're working on the trunks, and we have Casper alongside Diane helping her out, making sure that she doesn't miss a spot. So we have our trunks all laid out, staining those again with an exterior stain. You could probably find a spray stain that would work as well, but we're just doing it this way. And we just got little samples, little tiny samples. You don't even need that much. Those samples are like $4.99 at Lowe's, and pretty cheap, pretty quick and pretty easy. So that's what we're working on now.
Sometimes even professionals make a mistake.
So it's a Santa's workshop here.
Exactly. That's why Santa starts in January.
Oh, yeah, well, we're starting in November, but. So you can see these stands are pretty cool.
Very complex.
Very complex. So, but this will slip right out like those. The little trees will slip right in and out of there. And then we've got our helper over here, Casper.
Oh, she moved her.
Are you helping us, Casper? Oh, you're such a help. Yes, you are. You're such a big help. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Goofy dog.
I'm cutting the top of what will be the trunk of the tree so that the tippy top part of the tree doesn't stick up above where it could break off. So we're just placing this at the top, marking it for a cut, and then we'll screw this part to the trunk.
We have the screws lined up. 2 screws on each section so they don't spin. You want to have them so they aren't going to be able to spin if you put it in the middle. Screwing those in there. Okay.
That will come out a little crooked.
It looks good crooked. Doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't, it looks fine.
Just so you all know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a tree. Here is our first completed tree in its stand. Pretty cute.
Are these ready, Diane?
So this is what color stain was this, Diane? Forest? Ponderosa pine, semi-transparent stain with russet stain on the bottom. And then we did some of the other branches, which we'll show in the next one. We kind of ran out of the russet, so we went to a different darker color we had on hand, and we'll show those when that one's done too. Here is our completed forest of trees. This is from the front, and I'll go around the back so you can see how they look like in the back. We've got some helpers in here, and here's the back of them. Kind of hard in the sun to see them, but my husband made the stands, my sister-in-law Diane and I made the trees, and there we are.